I'm Farhan Dalla, transformational trainer, and welcome to Elevate Your Life, a transformational podcast, an invitation to take the journey towards your deepest self. It is my intention to inspire you to connect, move, and meditate. We'll tap in, tune in, and dive in, and together learn and reflect from authentic, real, and transformative conversations. Let's get started. Warning: today's episode contains details of violence. However, this story has an outcome worth listening to. It promises to deliver a message of empowerment, healing, turning pain into purpose, and ultimate life-changing transformation. Hi, everyone. My guest today is Adriana Brante. She is a psychologist, speaker, wellness, and community builder whose life was transformed by an unimaginable adversity. After surviving a life-changing acid attack that threatened her vision, Adriana discovered the profound power of meditation, resilience, and the mind-body connection. Rather than allowing her pain to define her, she turned it into her life's purpose. Today, she inspires audiences around the world by sharing her story and helping others transform pain into purpose. She leads wellness retreats in the Caribbean, facilitates meditation experiences, and creates communities where people can reconnect with themselves, heal, and cultivate lasting inner transformation. Hi, Adriana.
Hi, Farhan. Thank you so much for having me here. So
And thank you.
excited.
Thank you for being here. I want to begin by just reassuring you that I am creating this safe container for you. I'm holding space for you. We will take our time in our conversation and allow you the opportunity to share your story with my full support.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
So, we met in Cancun this past June
At Dr. Joe's
at Dr. Joe's
retreat.
10-day retreat. I was in
Mm-hmm.
the audience when you were on stage sharing a very powerful testimonial. And let's just say that what what you shared, I was not expecting. It's not a transformation I have ever heard. But as soon as you started speaking, I had a feeling that you were going to be on my podcast, and I started to take notes, and I was writing in detail everything that you were saying and what Dr. Joe was saying. And then once you finished, I ran to you to your I don't know if you remember this, but I ran and I was like,
Yeah,
I
you were the first
gotta
one.
talk.
Like,
I was the first one,
yeah,
right?
yes.
And I said, I introduced myself to you and I thought, oh my God, I just overwhelmed her. And she just, shared this personal story. And here I come running at you.
Yes.
And I said, would you be a guest on my podcast? And you said yes. And I was like, oh, I was so grateful. I so
Oh.
appreciate that. It was so nice to meet you and to have this conversation. So let's begin. Let's take a breath, and we'll start this conversation by going back to that night that
Mm-hmm.
changed your life forever. Can you share with our listeners what happened on the night of the attack and what followed the days after?
Okay. So one day before I was supposed to give birth um, to my second daughter, I was getting ready for going to sleep. Um, when my life literally changed forever. Suddenly, I found myself fighting with a stranger who had broken into my home. And during this attack, she threw me a muriatic acid in my face, burning
Muriatic acid.
muriatic acid in
Okay.
my face, severely burning both of my eyes. Even though I survived, I fight for my life. I was this big, 9 months pregnant. And
And
I
just about to deliver.
literally next day my C-section was programmed.
Wow.
So um, I survived. I was sent to emergencies, and this person was sent to jail that night, my life changed forever. I mean, that moment of that it's supposed to be a blissful moment, a loving moment, it became like a nightmare for me. So I was completely devastated. I was in shock. I couldn't have my daughter the next day as planned. I I lost my vision. So the from the one week later, she arrived and I couldn't see her.
You had no vision at this point.
No, both of my eyes were completely burned.
Wow.
Yes, yes, it was. I didn't go back to that home again. Um, yeah, it was a mess in
Hmm.
I mean, all the world, Um, I visit some of the best cornea specialists here in Mexico, and they explain it to me that the cell, the cells of my eye were born completely, so my eye couldn't regenerate again by itself. But here in Mexico, they didn't have like the technology or they couldn't help me. So I tried everything, and around that time, I in middle of of the darkness with a baby newborn in my arms, in a dark room because I couldn't see the light, I couldn't go out, my eyes were exposed. Um, I started like searching for something, and I came up with the work of Dr. Joe's
Okay.
Dispenza.
Yeah.
And it's
How
funny, yeah,
how did you come across Dr. Joe's work? Did somebody introduce it to you or
I heard about him like years before. Actually,
okay.
my brother-in-law gave me the Breaking the Habit of Be Yourself book.
Okay.
And in that day, I opened it and I start reading it. And I was like, oh my God, this is so technical and so boring. I
Right.
close it and put it
Okay.
aside.
Right.
So I knew about Dr. Joe, but
Okay.
I didn't study at that time the everything.
Yeah.
And then when this happened to me, I was like in searching for light, literally, and I start like hearing the book of Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself
Okay.
and start meditating.
Okay.
And at the beginning, I was meditating for the trauma, for trying to sleep, to not panic every time my dogs bark. Um, I spent 6 months to go to the kitchen for a glass of water. Like I was literally emotional and physical devastated.
Can you
So
tell me
meditation,
what was the pain like, if you don't mind? Like, so were you in physical pain as well as not able to see? Like, what was that like?
it felt like at the beginning, it felt like when you have sand in your eye,
Okay.
like sand, or it felt like that. Like I had sand and when I blink, like it hurts more and more and more. So it was awful. It was like, yeah, like how do you say when you have
Like a burn?
open, yeah, like a burn in your
Mhm.
skin, but in your eyes.
Wow.
So yeah, it was horrible. Actually, I had a C-section, and I always say this. My body, it was so much in pain with the C-section and also my eyes that my eyes I felt more pain in my eyes than at the C-section. So I almost forget about the C-section of because of the pain of the eyes.
Mhm. And you have to do a lot of healing after a C-section too, right? It's
Yeah, I mean,
that in itself requires rest and a lot of activity modification, how
hormonal.
you hold your baby, how you know, lift, carry things, all of that is restricted, and now you're dealing with burning, constant pain in your eyes, and you can't see, plus you have another child, right? How
Yeah,
old
a
is
little
your
more.
other
Two
daughter at this
year
point?
old,
2
2 year old.
years old. How did
Yeah,
you manage? Did you have support or
yeah. I mean, I
family
have my
helping?
my mother-in-law, my mother-in-law moved into my house. I have my mother here. I had to hire a nurse because I couldn't change a diaper. I mean, the newborn, it's and they just bring me to my baby to breastfeed her, and then they do everything else and change the diapers. And I was like very, having this help. Um, but I remember I was just like a zombie, like just
Mhm.
surviving. Like, okay, do whatever you want with my body. Okay, I breastfeed. I was like that, like literally. My mom told me always, you, Adriana, you didn't talk like for months. Like you didn't have like conversation. Like,
Mhm.
you were like just existing. So I don't even remember that time very, it's like a little bit blurry for me.
Yeah.
So I start meditating and I find in my meditations, because I've never meditated before at all. Like no contact with meditation, no contact with anything of this. So I found I had this place where I can feel secure. Nobody can hurt me there. It was very calm. I start feeling good, you know? And I was having I remember a therapist at that time, trauma therapist. And I share with her like, hey, I'm starting doing meditations and I'm for the first time I'm feeling like something's changing, like I'm really feeling good. And she was like, oh, well, it's very good that you have another tools and things that will help you. And I was like, no, I'm sharing with you because I really feel that this might be something that will help me. Like I really felt connected to something else at that time. So I continued doing it. And synchronicities start to fall into place. For example, at that time, somebody introduced me the best cardiologist in the States, and they arranged a meeting. So I went to the States, visit him, and he was like specialized in severe chemical burn, and he had some procedures done before that were success. So I was like, okay, so he might help. Um, and it was funny because both of my eyes were burned. So this procedure is always like, okay, from the healthy eye, you do a self-esteem transplantation to the other. But my both eyes were burned. So he was surprised when I told him, like, you know what? Because he told me we have to search for a donor, and we usually use family. And I was like, oh, family? Okay. So what about my twin sister? And he was like, what? Identical? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, oh my God, Adri, this is the best thing I ever heard. It's like the perfect match. You are like the same DNA. And I remember I called my sister and I said, hey, sis, they can help me here. We have, we, they will have, we have a surgery and you can, and my sister was like in a hurry and I was like, sis, whatever you need, count on me. And I was like, okay, bye. And we hung out. And then 5 minutes later, she called me and was like, sis, wait a minute. What do you need, my cells or my eye? And I was like, your cells, of course. But at that time, I mean, me and her, we are very close. She's my soulmate, literally. We work together now and everything. But the importance of family. She could give her eye to me, literally. So for me, it was, we always take it for granted, but it's so important.
Hmm.
So we have to wait 1 year to do the procedure. And during that year, my eye still exposed. I couldn't go to the sunlight. I couldn't drive. I couldn't work. So I couldn't have a normal life. So meditation, the time when I meditate, it was like the highlight of my day. like okay, this is the space where I feel like, I don't know, it was so intimate, it was so precious to me. So the day came and we did the when they did the surgery, and it was successful procedure. Like, I really felt relief instantly. My vision came back and I was so happy, like, okay, this is over, I can start doing my life. And I start like reading some emails, like I'm starting like a life again. So I was so happy at that point. I was like, literally, this is the end of everything. And 2 weeks later, I wake up in the middle of the night with a extreme pain in my head, like extreme. And I sent pictures to my doctor, and he told me, come to the States right away. It seems infected. So when I got to the hospital and they did it, the worst came, it was a fungus, an infection. And it was spreading so aggressively and all around the eye. And they had to do a stream treatment to kill, the fungus. And of course, all the cells that they were put were killed. So a ulcer came, and that ulcer started like getting my cornea thinner and thinner and thinner. And they were very worried because maybe it would be perfored, so I will lose the eye. So everything that seems like getting better at that point, it was a mess. Like, I was in shock. I was like, what?
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
like,
You had all these steps forward, and then this is a big setback.
yeah, a big one. So every Monday I have to fly to the States, take a flight at 5 a.m. and come back in the afternoon, um to check the eye, to review. And every day I came back crying. They told me, you were getting worse, it's getting thinner, you're in extreme danger, you're gonna lose the eye. I remember one specific meeting with the doctor. He was like this, like, Adri, I don't know what else to do with you. Like, really, I do everything by the book that I can, and you still getting, your cornea still getting thinner, thinner, thinner. And they couldn't make a transplant because I don't have cells to receive that transplant. So there was like nothing to do. So I remember I was like very frustrated, and I was doubting myself, like, am I meditating right? I was hearing all these stories of mystical experience, a light come into myself and surround me, and this, like, and I never felt like that before, nothing like that. So I was asking myself, like, am I doing this right? Maybe I'm not doing good, like something is wrong about me. So I came with a story of transformation of a lady that was with Dr. Joe's. And she explained, like, I had metastasis, cancer. The book came into my life. I read the book, and I didn't see lights. I didn't have the mystical experience. I just commit to myself to do the work and do the meditation every day till I heal. So for me, it was so inspired, and it makes sense for me. And it was like, okay, I'm her. If she could do it, I'm doing it right. I'm just not there yet, but I'm doing it right. So I commit to myself like so strongly. Like, I did a promise, like, I won't stop till I heal. I will do the work every day till I heal.
Was it hard to do that with two kids? I mean, you're meditating, you still have, kids under the age of 3, and many women who are listening to this would say, "Oh, it's so hard to meditate, I don't have time." How did you manage all that?
I received help from my family. I was very like support. That's true. And I did it at nights or whatever my little one sleeps, like the baby sleeps. I in that moment I plug in and I was like meditating. So I felt so good meditating. So I really searched for that moments to do it, you know?
Hmm.
So nowadays more difficult to keep doing the work. I still doing it, but because they are growing and I have now job and whatever. But at that time I was like at home, like still I couldn't see the light, so I couldn't get out of my room, things like that. So for me it was like I have time at that time and I have help. But it was still difficult, you know? Like sometimes I was so tired, sometimes I was so sad, sometimes I was so frustrated, especially when the fungus came. I couldn't feel elevated emotions at that time. I was so mad. Hmm.
Hmm.
I was like, why?
Hmm.
I mean, um, so with the fungus, the pain became unbearable. Like I couldn't leave my room anymore. The voice of my girls give me headache. I couldn't tolerate the light. Like it was horrible. Um, but I continued to do the job because I commit to myself every day, even if I felt so frustrated. I feel if I felt sad, if I felt whatever. I sit and I meditate. So every Monday I went to my appointments, and then they told me it was worse, 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 and I was like, okay, um, and
But what
mm,
kept you going? So you're going to all these, you had surgeries, you have setbacks, now you have more pain because of the fungus. But what kept you going even when every medical update seemed worse than the last?
I think, of course, meditation helped me to have this force to keep going. To It was a divine, of course, like this, union that say, and also I had a lot of synchronicities around me, messages, people that came to me or and say that you're doing it okay. People that were doing the work also of Joe Dispenza, and we met and we chat, and then like they were always message, like all around. So I was like, I'm getting close to it, but I'm not healed yet. But I felt that I was doing it. I'm getting close to it. I was
It sounds
little,
like you were getting signs, right? Like you're on
yeah,
track. Keep
yeah,
going.
lots of them. We can do another podcast to talk about it. But yeah, I
Just on
had
the
a lot
signs?
of signs. So I was very connected. I was seeing like everything as a miracle, everything, every little, detail for me was a sign. Um, so that kept me going. And of course, the love for my family. Like they need a mom who work like a real mom, that I really want to to be a mother, like to take care of them, to change a diaper, for me it was like my little baby.
Mm.
So I start like not focus on this is important. The doctor told me we need to do exploratory surgery. We're gonna open, we're gonna see in the spot what's going on there, and maybe we can do a partial transplant. I will decide on the spot and then see what happened. It was like, let's see, let's pray. And it was like, okay. But I was in real danger to lose the eye. Literally, like, and I remember I came back that day and I was so tired. I was exhausted. I was done, And I remember I was in the shower. I was crying And I talk to God. I really surround myself and say, you know what? I don't want to be here anymore. I know my daughter is gonna be okay. I'm not a good mom for them. I don't care if I lose the eye. I really don't care about anything. Do whatever you want. I'm done here. I'm done. I dry my tears and I sit down and meditate that night. And the day after, I heard my daughters like, you know, downstairs, but I couldn't do anything. So I was about to fall asleep onto the bed again, and like a force within me, get up. I get up, like I did like this, and I was like, in Spanish is a la chingada. It's like enough, or in another, this an elegant word. It's enough, but it's like fuck it. So
Mhm.
sorry.
That's
Um,
okay. You can say whatever you want. This is your story.
you know, like,
But basically, you pull the covers over, and you're
and I
like,
get off,
"Fuck
and
it."
this is not longer my reality.
Okay.
And I remember I put huge sunglasses and huge hats. And at that time, all my plants were dead, like in my house. And my mother told me, like, honey, your plants are dying. And I was like, Mom, I'm dying. I'm dead from the inside. You know, like, what do you expect me to do? I was like at that point, So I go and buy a lot of plants. They
Mhm.
are here, actually.
Can
All
you
my,
first of all describe what that force was? Like, I mean, was it like something you saw or you felt?
I
Like, what
just
was
felt it.
you just
I just
felt it?
I just felt it like the force that say that this is enough. For the first time, I said, this is enough. This is not no longer my reality. And I was also like happy because I knew I was healed.
So there was a
Like,
shift in that moment,
yeah, like
major shift.
major shift. I get up. Everybody was looking at me like, what?
Who are you?
Where are you going? Excuse me. And I was like, I'm gonna buy some plants. And I and I call my husband and say, honey, I'm healed. And he told me, like, honey, chill. Every Monday you go. I mean, I like your attitude, but chill, because every Monday you go thinking you're healed or you're going better, and you came. And I was like, you don't understand. I'm healed. And he was like, okay. Then the surgery came. I entered to the quirófano. I don't know how to say it in English.
The operating room
The
or
operating room.
okay.
Then when I came back, the doctor was like smiling at me, and
So
he
you
told,
had the surgery?
yeah, they open,
Yep.
they do it, and
Yep.
then I came out. I didn't have because the doctor told me, Adri, we didn't do anything. Your cornea, it's out of danger. Now it's thicker, and you're out of danger. We're gonna just wait for the epithelium to close, but you're fine. It was like, oh my God. Like, that was the
Sorry,
best
could
day
you
of my.
just repeat one more time what the doctor said? They opened you up,
They
they
opened
looked
me up,
inside,
they checked everything, and the
they
cornea was thicker,
the cornea
out
was
of
thicker.
out of danger.
Okay.
They just put a lens, like, okay, nothing is here. And then I came out of the surgery room, and he told me, like, Adri, we didn't do anything. You're perfectly, yeah, it's fine. You don't have the fungus, and the cornea is thicker, and you're out of danger.
So did the doctor have an explanation for you, or did you just look at him like, I already knew that?
Actually, he followed me on Instagram, and he knew I was meditating. I always, like, share like my path. Um And he told me one time that he called me, and there were so fellows with him, and he asked me like, "What are you doing? Are because whatever you're doing, keep doing it because it's working." Like like and they were very, and I was like, you know what? There's a book that it's called Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself. You
You
should
introduced the
read
book
it.
to him? Yeah.
And they were very, very surprised. They were very surprised, and also they were so happy. They were so kind to me. Like literally, they were awesome, and I also did everything they told me to do. Like no, the drops, the meetings, everything. I did it well, but actually, the only way he knew that the cornea could go thicker it's with the transplant. He never met somebody who did like by.
Through meditation.
Huh?
Wow. That's
And since then, I've never go back to the hospital. I have a normal life. I can drive. I can. Something important that shift at that time in my before the healing. I want to share with you. I was not longer expected to heal the eye. I was connecting myself to how will I feel when I heal. So I visualize myself like diving into the ocean, opening my eyes, spinning in the sun with my daughters, playing in the, like outdoors, driving and feeling the air in my face. That was the emotion that I wanted to feel, freedom.
mhm. Dr.
Um,
Joe said in the audience when I was sitting there that you had to have overcome any doubt. You were no longer victimized by your past trauma, and every cell in your body was aligned with your future. And that's
yes,
exactly what you're describing right now. And he goes on to say, if you give the autonomic nervous system enough information, it will heal. And you just did that. You aligned with your future self
yes,
as though it wasn't in the future, but it was in the present.
yes. Every day, 1 hour, you know, connecting to that till it happened. And the funny thing is that it will happen when you didn't expect it. We don't have control of that. We have to do the work. As I did the work every day, but the how and when it's up to the
Yeah.
universe. So we cannot so the time when I release that, like when I really surrender myself, like whatever you want whenever you want, the miracle came. Now I can process that and I can share with you, but at that time I was just trying
You
to
s
heal, and
Yeah,
yeah,
you surrendered.
yeah,
You completely surrendered without trying to control the outcome.
exactly,
Huh.
exactly.
Let's go back a little bit. At what point did meditation become more than a healing practice and turn into a way of surviving one of your darkest periods of your life?
Yeah, at the beginning, I mean, I as I mentioned, I needed to go to that place when I feel safe and secure, and to don't have these panic attacks. And it was like to get out of the survival mode, to not remember the what happened, you know, over and over and over again. Because with the trauma, it happened like the image of what happened. It was like
You repeat it in your mind.
repeated every day, like even when I was sleeping. So at the beginning was, like to cut that and just to, like get out of the survival.
Mhm,
And over time, I keep doing the work and I felt more safe,
mhm,
like I say to my body, okay, you're safe. This won't never happen again.
mhm.
You're in a good place now, like you're secure, everything. And then I think I start to connect to elevated emotions and to create what I wanted to create. But at the first time, it was like getting out of survival.
Hmm.
I use the
And you
meditation for that.
and you got to the point where you could finally go get a glass of water from the kitchen yourself. Like that had to have been a big win in that moment and a sign of progress,
Yes.
right?
Yes, I remember also when I went to the supermarket for the first time by myself. For me, it was huge, huge, like, okay, I'm safe. It's, yeah, it's like I start living again. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Dr. Joe said that you have laid the footprint in consciousness for others to heal. You didn't have any stem or transitional cells, yet you generated new cells and you have new eyes. You have new eyes.
Mhm.
What was it like to see the world with these new eyes?
Oof. I mean, it was so heavy and so dark, but now I can see so much light. I can appreciate so much. I live fully, I every day when I get up and I feel my senses, because I mean the eyes, and we breathe and we walk, and those things that we take for granted, for me it's the most valuable. Like, I can see a sunrise, I can see a sunset, I can now get into the pool and open my eyes, I can play. So I really live now. Like,
Mhm,
this thing that happened to me, it helped me like to value life more than everything, and the little moments also. So I have more presence. I have I'm more present. I share with my family this work also. We talk the same language. We're teaching my daughters to meditate. We do meditations with them.
I
I'm
saw that
teaching.
online. That is so beautiful. And, that was one of my questions is how you've modeled or introduced this to your children. Because I saw you meditating together as a family.
Yeah. My husband didn't meditate also before my healing. He was so skeptical. But
Mhm,
when he saw myself healing, he started doing the work, and he went to a retreat, and he's like super meditating right now. Like, he's into the work a lot.
mhm.
You met him in the
I
10 days.
did. Yes. Yeah.
So we talk this language at home. You create your reality. You can heal yourself. When my daughters have like a flu or something, we heal, and they heal themselves. I'm teaching them, like, they have the power to do it. And for me, it's a gift that I can teach them so young about this. So you don't
Mhm,
have to have this traumatic event to start meditating. They are like, having like a usual language at home, and they can regulate themselves. When they are angry, I see a lot of things that are changing as
mhm.
they get into the meditations. So yeah, we do it a lot with them.
Do you remember what it was like to see yourself in the mirror for the first time with your new eyes? What was it like to see yourself?
I felt like I was in other dimension. I recognize myself, of course, but I was not longer the old me. I don't know if it makes sense, but it was like I felt so much love for myself, so much compassion. It was, like, you did it. Like, you're here, it's like I was so happy. I felt so much love for myself, because I mean, it was literally the worst days of my life, like, it was so much pain, and then I was like, okay, it's over, it's done. You're here, you did it. So I mean, it's undescriptible. But
Hmm.
yes.
Yeah. Adriana, did forgiveness of your attacker have any significance in your healing?
Yes, I think it was one of the first things that I work on. Not because I want to forgive or release the attacker, but I understand that what Dr. Joe says is if you're still having or feeling the feelings of the past, you cannot move into another future. So I understand this. So if I'm still angry and feel, sad about it and keep myself repeating, I will like keep
Stay stuck
those.
in the past?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I really understand that. And actually, I erased all pictures of my old self. I remember I was like literally like cutting that out. Um because I understand this, So I wanted to reconfigure my brain to a new future. So for me it was a game changer. It was one of the first things I needed to do, but for myself. Not for the person, it's for myself and to move forward. Hmm.
Hmm.
So it's super important. Also, a person one guy in the retreat asked me that too. So yes, I told him the same.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Adriana, how has your work in Dr. Joe's studies continued, and what else have you created? I mean, your healing obviously is huge, but is there anything else that you've created doing this work?
Yeah, everything. Like I'm living like many lives in this life. Like for example, I didn't go back to my job like what I did before, so I created a new job. I went into sales and I started doing like massive, uh, like so much money also, like I put in the quantum so much goals and then I reached them. Um, so everything we want to reach is like we talk the language and it's like, what do you want to create? Like my husband want to go to the World Cup. He's in Mexico City right now. Um, he literally manifests the ticket because there were
Huh,
no longer tickets and in a very good price. So things like that, it's our usual now. We
right.
we 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 talk about creations every day. We create our life and with the intention. So every day that I meditate, I put the intention and I create the life I want to live. So now I'm with my sister. We do retreats and we do this kind of circles and I work with people who want to heal also. So this is part of my creation also, and it's my purpose. I so I feel so grateful for that, for understanding this work and how it works and what we can create. So yeah. Yeah, so
Mhm,
everything I can create right now.
mhm.
I don't know if I answered your question.
No, you did. I mean, you created a whole new career, so you're not practicing psychology anymore?
Not the way I used to do it. I was in the industrial, psychologist. I had I was a headhunter and things like that. And now then I went into sales. That actually helped me a lot for doing this because I had to talk in English. So everything,
Yeah.
um, so now I'm doing this and I'm so expanded and I feel that this is my purpose. I feel so happy when we meet some people and we help them and they feel better and they find the meditations and they, so
Hmm.
I mean, it's very, 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 very fulfilling.
Yeah. I mean, it's
Hmm.
changed the way you're a mother, it's changed your career, it's changed the way you view the world. Like, it's completely, you're living a completely different life, right?
Literally. Yes, yes.
What is your vision for your future? What sort of vision do you have for yourself and your family?
We want to lead by example. I want, because that's how you inspire others, right? Like, I want to lead by example, to keep doing my job, the work, um, to teach them, and to inspire more families to get their kids into meditations, to teach them the work, because they are the future, you know. And I always say this is like, don't wait for you to have a diagnosis. Don't wait to have a illness, or don't wait to have a traumatic event to find yourself through meditation, you know. So this is what I want to do and to share, to touch with my story as many hearts as I can, so they can live a fully life, they can get in touch with themselves, to practice, you know, to live a better life, to create the life of their dreams, because it's possible, because it's there, you know. They just have to do the work and to reach that, you know, to pull down that.
And believe,
So
right?
what?
And
Sorry?
to believe.
Yeah. That, I
Yeah.
mean, if you don't believe it, it won't happen.
Exactly. I want to share a quote that you posted on Instagram the other day. So I had this translated in English, so I hope it sounds similar, but you can help me out. But you say in a post, and I love this: you will know the deepest pain, but that pain will not be the end of your story. One day you will transform it into purpose, and through it, you will help others discover that healing is also possible. Today, I can look back with gratitude, not because the pain was easy, but because it transformed me. After going through it, holding it, and integrating it, I found tools that restored hope and taught me that even the deepest wounds can become a path of light. Today, that is my purpose: to put my story, my experience, and everything I've learned into the service of those going through the darkest night of their lives, to remind them that healing is possible and that pain doesn't have the final word.
Yeah.
I think that, yeah, I feel like that really summarizes this conversation and highlights your reasoning for wanting to share your story.
Yeah, exactly. Just that. And I
Yeah.
mean, it took me a while. I really thought about it through these years. But now, and it was funny because, remember the day before of I was in the stage, um, I talked to God again and I said, put me in the places and with the people that need to share, to hear my story, if this is my path. And the next day I was with Joe Dispenza in front of 2,000 people. And I was
Well,
like,
you
oh,
didn't know you were going to share until that day?
no, no,
Oh my God.
I didn't have tickets to go into the retreat.
Really?
Really? I'm telling you, a lot of synchronicities
How
happens.
did
And
you
you,
end up there and end up on stage? Like, this is a story in itself. You can't leave this part out. Just when I was about to wrap it up, I was like, wait, this is really important.
sorry. I needed to say. I just came to the desk and I see the lady that was alone, like after lunch, and I reach and I say, "Hey, how those people can share, how people can share their story?" And she told me like, okay, share it to me." And I was like, "Right now?" And she was like, "Yes, tell me the story. I have time." And I was like, "Okay." So I started like telling the story, and she told me like, "Oh my God, this is a great story. Can we record this for the community?" And I was like, "Perfect, yes." And we record the next day. And then she told me like, "Watch out your Telegram because your story is very good. So I want to share it with Dr. Jokes. And if he like it, you will be on stage tomorrow." And I was like, "Yeah, right." And then we went back for the walking meditation, and I watched my phone, and she told me, "He loved your story. I come to the ballroom at 8:50 or something. He wants to meet you." And I was like, and I was like, "Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God." And then I went and I meet him and I hug him and everything you saw on stage. It was
Wow.
like that.
So you just showed up at the retreat without a ticket and was like, I'm just going to attend?
Yes, I couldn't enter to I couldn't log in because something happened. And I was sending emails, but they didn't respond. So my husband had a ticket and do the reservation in the hotel. And I was like, I'm going to walk in and let's see if I reach a ticket. So I
Yeah.
did it. And I wait 2 hours that day in the registration day. And then I received the email. The email that say, "Hey, you have a space here, register." And you know what? What's the funny part?
Mm-hmm.
Something happened in my credit cards. So I didn't have the full money for the for the retreat because we have to pay a part of the hotel. So I have like half of it. And in the registration, they made a mistake. And it was exactly the amount of money that I have in my credit card, in my debit card. So I pay it. I go to the registration, they give me everything. And then in the night they told me, "Hey, we made an invoice. We made a mistake. You owe us a lot of money." And I was like, "I will pay it." But
Yeah.
everything was perfect for me to be there.
Yeah. It completely lined up. You were meant to be on that stage.
Of
But
course.
thank God you went and just thought, I'm just going to try. And I've heard stories of people, I have a friend that flew from Australia last year, November, to Cancun without a ticket, just showed up, like came from Australia. I want to come. And she got in, and it was sold out.
Yes.
So, these things can happen when you set an intention and you trust. You take that leap. Wow.
Yes.
Okay, so this is part of the synchronicity, this conversation, us meeting, you talking to me. I feel like I'm just part of this plan, but just a small part in this whole orchestration. And I'm so grateful.
No, thank you so much for having me here. For me, I mean, it means a lot. Like thank you for
Yeah.
giving me the space to spread the word, and I hope we can reach so many hearts and they can start the
Yes, I'm
job.
sure we
And
will. Well, thank you for sharing your story with such courage and authenticity. I I really admire you for sharing your story. I know that could not have been easy, but you're an example of someone who has shown that life's biggest challenge can turn into purpose and meaning when you're not a victim to your trauma. My prayer for you is that may you always continue to thrive in your health. May you always be happy. May you and your family always be safe and blessed. I'm sending you all my highest love. Thank you.
thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I'm Farhan Dalla. Thank you for taking the time to listen to today's episode of Elevate Your Life, a transformational podcast. I hope today's conversation has elevated you in some way and inspired you to connect, move, and meditate. I'd really appreciate your support by following and rating this podcast. Come back soon and join me for another transformative conversation.